Fall Guys was at one point at the top of the gaming world. Every streamer was playing it and everyone wanted to get their hands on it. The simplistic gameplay and the silly tone of Fall Guys attracted many people who were struggling to find fun in their day-to-day, hyper-competitive games. But now in 2024, the game is barely talked about. Updates are getting announced, but the hype for them is just not there. So what happened to Fall Guys? Before we start, remember to subscribe. I talk about video games on this channel, so if you like that sort of thing, feel free to subscribe. I also live stream from time to time right here on this YouTube channel, so if you want to come hang out, crack some jokes, or discuss stuff, come join us sometime. If you can't make it to those streams live, feel free to subscribe to my second channel, RatedEm Live. I upload all the best moments from my live streams onto there. But without further ado, let's check out what happened to Fall Guys. Fall Guys dropped in the summer of 2020 exclusively for PlayStation consoles and PCs. It's a simple game where you control a little character through an obstacle course against a bunch of other players. Only a certain amount of players are allowed to pass the finish line, and once that quota is met, those who didn't make it are eliminated and sent back to the lobby. Each round funnels fewer and fewer people until the final round where only one player or one team can win. It was a mix of Battle Royale and something like Gang Beasts or Rubber Bandits. It was silly, simplistic, and fun. Once you win, you'll be awarded a crown, which you can save up multiple crowns to purchase items in the in-game shop. This created a sort of feedback loop of wanting to repeatedly play the game for a chance at winning a crown to buy a desired cosmetic item that made your character unique. It felt like everyone was on an even playing field, and anyone could be the lucky winner. Nobody knew the smaller intricacies of the game, and they played it for what it was. The game rose in popularity once it attracted the attention of streamers. It was kind of an Among Us situation where streamers were asked other streamers to play with them, thus showing the game off to 4 separate audiences if they were running a full team. Many gaming streamers who played it flocked to Fall Guys immediately because it was the perfect break from so many of the other top games being streamed at the time. Modern Warfare 2019 was still going strong alongside Warzone, Apex Legends was doing quite well too, Valorant was also quite big, and Fortnite was still having a pretty good run. The main thing that all of the most popularly streamed games of that year shared was that they were super competitive. Every match you played, regardless of what game it was, you were expected to perform at the highest level you could. It was mentally draining, and the gaming community lamented that. You couldn't go one day during 2020 without seeing somebody complain about skill-based matchmaking. But these streamers were forced to stream these games because it's what their core audience wanted to watch. Fall Guys gave streamers a break from having to sweat so hard in other games, and that's the reason so many played the game live. With so many of the top streamers broadcasting the game to so many people, the game exploded in popularity, being an instant hit for PlayStation and rising to the top charts of Steam. Fall Guys was starting to look like the underdog of modern games. It was super casual, it handled cosmetic items in a fair way, and there was very little ways that the devs could mess up the game. Things were looking pretty bright for Fall Guys. Oh, hello, Epic Games. So Epic Games acquired Mediatonic, the studio behind Fall Guys. At first glance, this was a big move, and it did eventually come with some great additions to the game. Fall Guys was made free to play, it got ported to Xbox and Switch, and it even got a level editor. But the acquisition from Epic Games was also the cause of the game's downfall. Fall Guys became more and more monetized over time. The crown system was completely reworked, and now the shop is no different from Call of Duty or Fortnite, where you have to buy a certain currency in order to obtain items. And while making the game free to play introduced even more people to the game, it was a slap in the face for those who shelled out the $30 for the game originally. There's no thank you for being early supporter. They also moved Fall Guys onto the Epic Games Store, and anyone who still owns the game on Steam has to download the Epic Games Launcher and sign in with an Epic Games account. If you know anything about the Epic Games Launcher, you'll see why that's a problem. And sure, the game got a level editor, but it was not utilized to its fullest potential. It's not like Fortnite Islands, which are heavily advertised to you on the game's main screen. It's pretty much just a level editor for you to make a level for you and your friends. The updates that did roll out for the game were just battle passes, which did include big names like Hatsune Miku and SpongeBob, but no unique game modes or features. At the same time though, what else could you add to a game this simplistic? There is another reason that a lot of people think of when they explain why they don't want to play Fall Guys, and while I think it's super subjective to who you're talking to, I guess I'll mention it. People started to learn the little intricacies of the game. They learned how to exploit the movement and master the courses. The TLDR being people got good at the game and then other people got pissed because people were good at the game. Fall Guys was great during its peak, but after that there was no real way to maintain that hype. It was cool at first because it was different from every other game, but how do you keep that difference from getting stale? In 2024, it seems like nobody's talking about Fall Guys, and it's gotten to the point where Fortnite is looking to add a Fall Guys style mode into the game, which is kinda going to render the original game pointless. Now the game barely receives updates or any attention from the gaming community. And while the game is still up and running, it is a shadow of its former self. And hey, if you like this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also feel free to leave a comment as I try to reply to as many as I can. If you want to check out more videos, you can do so here, as well as check out RatedEm Live, which is where I upload the best moments from all of my live streams. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.